Hello everybody and welcome to the True Love Talk channel. As you know, here we want to learn about human sexuality, love, life, family, and all of this from the point of view of the Catholic Church, but particularly what Pope John Paul II left in the theology of the body, especially because this is the series on the theology of the body. So as you know, I am Elisa, and on this video we're going to define what is love. So let's begin. We have to begin by understanding the difference between feelings and emotions, because we usually think that they are the same and they're actually pretty different. Here's the thing. Emotions are very intense. They invade consciousness completely, but they're also temporary and they have an end at some point. So imagine that you're going to work and you get a flat tire and you can't get there. So at that moment, you are going to feel anxious or you're going to feel stressed. You're going to be afraid of being late to work. And I'm telling you that they're intense and they invade consciousness because if you think about it, if 5 seconds before you got the flat tire, you were thinking about what to do with this client, right? My boss wants this, or it's my secretary's birthday, so I'm going to give her X, right? The moment you get the flat tire, none of this matters. Everything abandons your mind, and the only thing in your mind is we have a flat tire and we're scared and we're anxious and we're stressed because we need to get to work and we're not going to get in time. So as I said, very intense, invades consciousness completely. But they're also temporary in the sense that the moment you get to work, whether it's late or not, whether it's in your car, you were able to get a new tire, or you had to take a cab, or however you get there. The moment you get to work, the anxiety is over, right? You're not afraid anymore, and you just continue as simple as always. Compared to this, feelings are the complete opposite, in the sense that if emotions are very intense and they invade consciousness completely, feelings are very subtle, and to actually bring them into consciousness, you have to make a voluntary effort to remember them. And if emotions are temporary, feelings are permanent as long as we decide to maintain them, because feelings are, at the end of the day, a voluntary decision that we make. So think about your happiness. That is the difference between joy and actual happiness. Joy is what happens when you get home and your family is throwing a surprise party for you. You feel joy. It is great. You're enjoying yourself. You have a great time. But in the end, it was nothing that you could decide of feeling or having. Actually, somebody else had for you, and you just automatically felt, right? Happiness, on the other side, is actually sitting down and thinking, what makes me happy, right? What do I want to do with my life? So I'm a good musician. So great. I want to become the best musician, and this means that I have to go to music school and I have to practice and I have to graduate and then go to concerts, right? And perform for others and so on. When I decide that this is my happiness, right? That indeed music is my passion and this is what's going to make me happy. And I start living a life for music, right? I start studying, I start performing, I start working on it and practicing. There are going to be times when I'm not going to feel happy or I am not going to enjoy myself. I will be thinking of, I have to get to the concert in time, I haven't practiced enough, I'm tired and I don't want to practice. I really want to go out and have fun with my friends instead of practicing and so on. And at that time, I'm not going to remember, right, that this gives me happiness because I'm thinking of something else, because something else is invading my conscience. And yet, if let's go back to the example. I am already a musician and I'm very happy. I'm going to perform for someone and I get the flat tire. I get scared because I am not going to perform. But if trying to solve the flat tire, a moment in which I am stressed, right? And I am anxious and I'm thinking of how to solve the problem, and I'm not thinking of how much I love music. Somebody turns around and says, hey, but are you still happy by being a musician? I mean, do you still want to perform? Do you still want to do it? I can immediately remember, yes, I absolutely do. This is part of my happiness. So even if I'm stressed right now, I am still happy that I get to be a musician, right? And that is why we say it's permanent. But it's going to be permanent as long as I decide to maintain it. Because we decide what our emotion, what our feeling is going to be. We decide how much they are, how long will they last. As I said, it's important to understand the distinction between feelings and emotions because love is a feeling, it's not an emotion. Okay? Some people think that being in love is actually what love is. That automatic sensation of the butterflies in the stomach and of really liking and having the crush on the other person, that is what love is. Actually, that's just a feeling. It's just something that happens to you and you don't choose. Real love starts when you actually decide to love the other person, when you think this is a valuable person, this is a person that I want in my life, I need this person to stay in my life to be happy, so they become part of who I am, my happiness, and a fundamental part of my life, right? I give them the value for. And when I choose to love them, I am committing to loving them even when things don't work out, even when I am not happy with them, even when I am fighting, even when they're being nasty or whatever, right? Even then, I choose to keep giving the person the same value, the same importance in my life. And that is why Pope John Paul II would say that love has actually a process that has three basic stages. The first stage is attraction. Feeling attraction is understanding the goodness or the beatitude in the other person's existence. Beatitude meaning it's good, it is beautiful, it is wonderful that the other person is there. At that point, we think your existence is very good, right? And we like it. That is the attraction. Attraction leads to desire, and desire is wanting that beatitude and that goodness of the other person's existence in one's life, right? And we think my life would be better if you were in it because your life is wonderful. Your existence has so much goodness in it that it would be great if you could be here with me, right? But love is only going to be real, actual love, when we get to the third stage of the process, which is goodwill towards the other person. That is the moment when the person is so valuable to us, is so important. We think of them as such wonderful people that their happiness becomes our happiness. It doesn't mean that the same things make us happy, but that the happiness of the other person is fundamental for our own happiness. This is what happens when, for example, a child receives a gift, a toy, right? And the mother feels happy, right? Clearly, the mother doesn't want to play with her child's toy. She is not happy, she doesn't enjoy the toy, but she wants the happiness for her child. So her child's happiness makes her happy. That is goodwill. And as you can see, it's a decision. We have to decide to make the person so valuable, to give them a place in our lives that they actually become part of who we are, of our happiness, of our value, right? And they are worthy in themselves. They are not there because I like you and because it makes me happy, but they are actually there because I want to make you happy. See? That's the difference between goodwill and just desire. That's the difference between being in love and actually loving someone. Hmm? And of course, this means that love is personal in the sense that only people can love, and it is good to only love people. Why only people can love? Because remember that only people have identity. Only spiritual beings have the possibility of understanding who they are. And once we can recognize ourselves, we can also recognize the other person. And therefore, we can value the other person. We can actually understand how wonderful the other person is. We can recognize the beatitude in their existence. It is also good to only love people because that what we love, right, is going to be a possibility of humanizing ourselves and loving non-human things or non-personal things, because remember that there are three kinds of people in the universe, right? The divine people, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, angels, or humans. When we love a being that is not a person, what happens is whatever we are is not going to be recognized, right? Our cats may be attached to us and they might like us a lot, but if I am a great musician, my cat is not going to be able to understand that, and it's not going to be able to see how great it is. So developing my music is not going to help my cat. So deep down, I would have to sacrifice my music, right? Part of who I am to be with the cat. But once I sacrifice that, the cat is not going to understand how great of a sacrifice that is, because they don't even understand that my music ability is something good or is something valuable, right? And it also means that we become gifts for things or animals, not for other people, and therefore our humanity does devolve, right? If I love my credit card more than anything, I am going to give everything to have a great credit card, a great credit score, to have this credit card as big as possible. And of course, that is going to make me less human, right? It's going to make me not work for others, not think of what can give and how can I serve, but how can I get, right? How can I possess? How can I do? And in that case, our humanity will not be developed, as we will not develop ourselves as humans. So love is fundamental for the fulfillment of the human person, is what is going to allow us to develop and actually be better. If we give too much value to something that isn't a person, then our life is going to be significantly poorer. And as people, we're going to be significantly less, right? Significantly less worthy, significantly less evolved, significantly less fulfilled, and so on. So love is personal, and this is why we cannot say that we cannot just spread the love towards everything. It has to have the object of our love has to be able to recognize what we're giving, so that we can actually become gifts for that other person and be as fully us as we can be. But well, this is today's topic. I'm very glad to see that you decided to stay until the end of the video. If you can have any question or any comment, please write it in the comment section below. I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. And well, see you in a week. Have a nice day. Lots of blessings for everybody. Bye.